If that water breaks, it breaks for real. And when it breaks, it's dramatic. It pours, sure. Hi, and welcome again to My Bed with Dr. K. And today I want to show you something important. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Have you ever been pregnant and then suddenly something happens and you have to rush to the hospital? These are the things I want to talk about. Alarming things that will take you to the hospital or to your doctor ASAP. And it's important for all of you to know. By the way, this is not just for you as the new mother or the old mother or a partner. Everybody who's able to identify a problem with you should be able to take you to the hospital. So the first one is bleeding. Bleeding is the number one cause of maternal death all over the world. If you're pregnant and suddenly you're bleeding, it doesn't matter what gestation. Maybe it's your 6th week or your 10th week or your 40th week. If there's any bleeding at all, it would be important for you to rush to the hospital as soon as you can. There are some people who do get some spotting at the beginning of pregnancy, and that could be because you're having the egg implant inside your uterus. So it's important to note that, but does not give you a leeway, doesn't allow you maybe to just stay at home. It would be important to just go to the hospital, find out whether this is okay or not. So don't be extremely alarmed when you have a spot, especially the first few weeks of your pregnancy. But yes, as I said, any form of bleeding, let your doctor know. The other one is if at all you have any fainting episode. It's your first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, any fainting episode, it would be important to see your gynecologist. Same as if you do have reduced fetal movements. You remember you're not alone, by the way. You're not alone. You're two people. We're talking about they. Now that we have pronouns, we have they. You're not just she. They are together. So we must remember if your baby's movements have reduced, particularly reduction of in any way that is not the baby's normal, you need to go back to the hospital. You know why? The baby is communicating to you and you're the first monitor of your baby. You're the one with that baby 24/7. The doctor will only examine your baby every month, but you're the one who's with this baby throughout. So if there's any change in the way the baby is kicking, maybe you're used to the baby sleeping, because sometimes they can sleep, They can sleep at some point during the day or at some point during the night, and that's okay. But if you feel like there's some elongation of this not moving over a certain period of time, which is not your usual, make sure to see your doctor. Another thing that's something alarming, and this one by the way is alarming for sure, no one will miss it. If that water breaks, it breaks for real. And when it breaks, it's dramatic. It pours, sure, out of you. It's warm, it's a lot. And when it pours, it's like suddenly you've peed yourself. So it is important for you, once that happens, make sure you go to the hospital. It would be important for the doctor to examine you, because that water, if it reduces, then it means the baby is inside there without enough water. And maybe you're going into labor if you're already in your 3rd trimester. If you're in your earlier trimester, then that means something else. And that's why you need to be seen by your doctor. So don't stay home when that water breaks. Another thing that you need to come back to the hospital is if you have any form of fever. If it's low grade or high grade fever, then it means there's a problem. Either you're having an infection or something else is going on in your body. Infection can lead to early delivery of your baby. And if the baby is born early, then they can also get that infection as well. So you have something called neonatal sepsis. And if they do that, it can also cause death in your baby. But even sepsis in you can also cause death. So it's important for you to know if you have any fever, you need to come back to the hospital. The other alarming thing that you need to come back very fast is if you have pain here. This area, it's called the epigastric area. It can mean quite a bit of things. It can mean maybe it's acidity, or it can mean that you have gastritis. But there's something important I need you to know. If you have high blood pressure and you have that pain here at this area, it's called the epigastric place, it means that you could be going to something called eclampsia, which is a fit, like kifafa, convulsion, because of high blood pressure in pregnancy. High blood pressure in pregnancy is the number 2 leading cause of death in mothers. And one of the things that causes death is that fit, because you lose oxygen in your brain, and then it leads to death of you and your baby. And we don't want that. So if you have high blood pressure and epigastric pain, you must come back to the hospital. If you also have high blood pressure and visual disturbances, you need to have a doctor review you urgently. If you have high blood pressure and you have a headache, then you need to go to the hospital urgently. So those are the main alarming things that you need to watch. Make sure that if you have any of those, make sure to have your gynecologist know about it. Go to the hospital, preferably the nearest hospital, that is the one that is nearest to you, so that you can get emergency treatment, and then so that you can save you and save your baby. Thank you, and welcome again to My Bed with Dr. Kim.